The annual HIMSS conference continues to be the place where B2B healthcare business happens. If you aren't here as an exhibitor or a presenter or an attendee, you are missing the opportunity to boost your sales and your market presence. This conference isn't for the faint of heart, and you have to bring your A game to the exhibit hall. This year was no exception at HIMSS26, and there were several companies that stood out in the hall. But who had the best giveaway? Who had the best booth attraction and the best booth design? Well, stay tuned to find out. This is the Best of Show HIMSS26. Let's get to it.
Swaay.Health.
Okay, before I get into my Best of Show highlights, I want to share a few quick impressions about HIMSS26. First of all, HIMSS26 really felt full. Just look at this crowd in the hallways. It was like that after most of the keynotes. You could barely walk in a straight line, which I guess is kind of a metaphor for Vegas where it happened. But the same thing happened in the exhibit hall too. And this was because the HIMSS organizers smartly made the aisles a bit narrower this year at HIMSS26. And they also moved the open spaces to the periphery of the exhibit hall. This meant that vendors were more densely packed in the middle, and this helped to make the hall seem busy and energized. Also this year, they did not use Caesars Forum, and that was a big complaint from last year. I actually felt bad for any vendor that was in that area because it was such a ghost town. Well, the organizers clearly listened, and this year they only used the main exhibit area and the connected downstairs lower level in the main exhibit floors. We didn't have to go to Caesars Forum, and both levels had pretty good traffic. From a booth trend perspective, there continued to be the rise of wood accents that continues. There were many booths that featured wood panels or wood slats, and it helped give the exhibit hall a bit of a warmer feel, which I really liked. For the past few years, I've been waiting for exhibitors to start using full height LED displays as their booth backdrops. And finally, in 2026, this has started to happen. There were a number of booths here that were using nothing but these displays as their backdrops instead of the fabric or printed substrates. There were a few 10x10s and a few 10x20s where the entire back wall was an LED screen that was showing various things. They had moving graphics or they had changing messages. They were very cool and very eye-catching. I expect we'll see a lot more of those at conferences over the next little while.
Best giveaway, HIMSS26.
There were many impressive giveaways at HIMSS26. I liked the quality mugs and the cooler bags at the Greenway booth. They were adorned with their new logo. More on that on a future interview. There were also these very bright pink bags from T-Mobile. You couldn't help but notice when someone walked by with one of them. I heard a lot of people talking about the quilted / puffy look to those bags. They definitely stood out in a crowd. Salesforce had their latest iteration of their socks. I know a lot of people find those socks to be quite stylish and comfortable. The Nutanix team had their personalized wooden coasters again. The team from Jar-Dogs Health, they had a great on-brand giveaway, a Lego dog which you could enter to win. And speaking of on-brand giveaways, Daisy Bill had these daisy-shaped pens at their booth, which were very cute. I also really liked the personalized luggage tag from Continuant, but instead of just putting the person's name, they laser engraved a picture of that person onto the luggage tag. It was very cool. Congrats to all those exhibitors for those great giveaways. But the top giveaway, in my opinion, was the personalized Owala water bottle from Juno Health. This was a very high quality giveaway, and the personalization was great. I had the chance to ask Ryan and Rita from Juno Health about that giveaway.
Hi, I'm Rita Patel. I'm a nurse.
Hey, I'm Ryan Pfister, Marketing Director at Juno Health. We're here at HIMSS26. You might know Juno Health from our giveaways in the past. We did a lot of t-shirts with custom designs on them. This year we mixed it up and we have these lovely Owala bottles with our custom designs that you can choose from. My favorite is the Health IT is broken, we're fixing it. We like the customization of the t-shirts and kind of showing our designs off. We were looking for a different medium to do it, so we went with a little bit more of an exclusive item for, I guess, more of an ICP kind of focused customer. So we're not trying to give them out to everyone. We're trying to give them out to people that are really looking for an EHR and kind of want to meet Juno and learn more about us.
And they're easy to carry, and you drink water all day, so you're going to look at our label all day long.
Now, full disclosure, I did get one of those pre-printed bottles from Juno Health at HIMSS26.
Best booth attraction, HIMSS26.
I think the booth attractions at HIMSS26 were the best ever. There were close-up magicians who had amazing tricks. They politely asked us not to film them in order to preserve the mystery, which I completely understand. There were some interesting trivia games and, of course, energetic theater hosts. But there were a few booths that had attractions that deserve an honorable mention. Twilio had a person at their booth who would put together a custom flower arrangement for you. It was unexpected and actually kind of zen to watch her pull flowers together into a beautiful bouquet, and watching the people walk away with smiles was awesome. GE Healthcare brought not one, but 3 of their spinning DNA mirror displays to HIMSS26. I saw one of these things at RSNA 25, and I was mesmerized by that single one. 3 of them together had me staring at it for over 10 minutes. There was a company called New Realm, and they had someone giving back massages in their booth. That was a big hit throughout the conference, especially on the final days. AMD had a full-on racing simulator in their booth. I did not try it, even though I really wanted to. Centrac had a very unique booth attraction. They had a sketch artist in their booth who would turn your photo into a fashion sketch. She was very talented, as you can see, and it was fun to see people turned into artwork. But the top booth attraction, in my opinion, was the welcoming robot at Contact.io. This autonomous robot walked around the perimeter of their booth, and when people stopped in front of it, it would either wave or extend its hand so you could shake it. It would also interact sometimes. It was very cool to watch. Now, there have been other robots at HIMSS, but this is the first one I've seen that was A, fully autonomous, and B, actually walked around rather than being on rollers. There were always crowds looking at it. There were tons of people taking photos of it and taking videos of it, so it definitely served its purpose of attracting people to that booth.
Best booth design, HIMSS26.
There are so many exhibitors at HIMSS that I have to divide this category into separate sections. It's unfair to compare a small 10x10, for example, to someone that has a booth that spans multiple aisles inside HIMSS. So, in the small booth category, that's anyone with a 100 to 200 square feet or a 10x10 to a 10x20, I really liked the Zscaler booth. It had clean lines and made nice use of that space. Telnix had a full-height LED backdrop in their small 10x10 booth that didn't overdo it with the graphics. Heads Up also had a full-height LED in their 10x20 booth that was very clean and very bright. But I have to say the best booth in the small category goes to Daisy Bill. They had a bright yellow backdrop, which of course matches the color of daisies, And they also had a ton of inflatable daisies all around their booth. It was very analog, very old school, and very different, which made their booth stand out in a good way. I also loved their branded giveaways and the simple text on the backdrop. Overall, it was very effective. Now for the medium category, which was anybody who had 300 to 800 square feet. I was really impressed with the IMO Health booth. They used LED arches all over their booth very effectively. They also mixed a hanging sign with a tower with nice kiosk demo stations. It had everything in that little tiny 20 by 20 space. Codometrics had a cool purple lights in their peaceful lounge area of their booth. Twilio had their big red booth, and that monochrome color still stands out once again this year. Lightbeam made great use of backlit panels in their booth and was right on trend with their rectangular arches. iGel's booth was very yellow, and it stood out in the sea of red, blue, and green. They also made great use of LED lighting. The best medium-sized booth, in my opinion, was the one from CHG Healthcare. They made fantastic use of their 20 by 20 space. They had greenery, wood accents, the whole booth was very functional and welcoming, and their logo really stood out against that backdrop. They did a lot in a very, very small space. Now, in the large booth category, which I think is in the 900 to 1600 square foot range, New Realm's black and red theme booth stood out. The same with Optum's bright orange booth, which was also very functional with some meeting areas in the back. I liked the LED towers in the Juno Health booth. They were eye-catching, and it also made their booth feel really spacious and open. Meditech's new booth design was very functional and very green. Contact.io had those beautiful red rectangular arches and squares, and they had a very bright red carpet. That helped make their booth really stand out and was very attractive. Poly AI had a nice all-black booth that stood out because it lacked color. And of course, Heidi Health had a very unique booth with an aisle that went right through the middle of it. That was very interesting. It was a great approach, and it got a lot of people to actually walk through their booth. The best booth, though, in the large category goes to two companies. First, Greenway. They had a new booth featuring their new logo. It was very open and very welcoming. Plus, it was a unique shade of green. And I really liked the calm areas at the back of their booth where they had their giveaways and their meeting areas. The other winner is PointClickCare for their picnic chic booth. They had a large patio area complete with the lovely patio lights that featured warm pretzels and comfy outdoor furniture. And here is Sage Carpenter from PointClickCare to tell us more about their booth.
Hi, my name is Sage Carpenter. I'm the Director of Brand Marketing at PointClickCare. HIMSS this year has been really great. PointClickCare has excitingly taken a new approach with our booth, and it's gone very well. We focus this year really on hospitality. We found people really at HIMSS are hungry and they want to sit down, and so this year we've really indexed on having yummy food and a place to sit, and it's been great to draw in traffic.
And finally, in the mega booth category, we're talking about super large booth here. I really liked the 3D Windows logo in the Microsoft booth. They also made their main aisle wider, which meant the booth was less crammed than prior years. AWS had a great booth with a really cool triangular shaped curved LED hanging sign. They also had stanchions that used stuffed bears instead of velvet ropes. Oh, and this cloud lamp was very nice. InterSystems had a super large theater with a very impressive LED screen. You couldn't miss it in the exhibit hall. It was so big. They also had nice meeting areas and a demo zone right next to that big theater. You couldn't miss their booth, definitely at HIMSS26. Suki had a very open booth, like very open booth. And it featured a picture gallery, a full height LED display that I think wrapped around 4 sides. They also had a very nice circular seating area, which was very unique. Waystar had a very large, open, inviting booth in their signature orange. Highland also had a very large and inviting booth, and their color scheme and angular shape screamed high tech, which I think is the look that they're going for. It was very modern and very stylish. Leidos had a very immersive booth, almost like a museum or an art display. If you stood in the middle of it, you kind of felt like you were in like a superhero movie or a Bond film. You could just look around at all these giant TV screens, each displaying something unique. Civi had their Neon Dream booth, which I featured in my Best of Show RSNA 25 edition. Oracle Health had a big red booth with lots of screens and lots of demo areas. What I really liked about their booth was the use of wood trim everywhere. It stood out in the mega booth category. But the one that gets my vote for Best of Show in the mega booth category is athenahealth. Their booth was so well branded. Their carpet color, their kiosk signs, their North Star hanging lamp, their LED hanging sign, their cafe, their second floor meeting area, everything was on brand and tight. It was very, very well done. The lighting was perfect, the verbiage on their signs was big and actually contained useful information. Overall, very well put together. And that's not easy to do with a 2-floor booth, something that I haven't seen at HIMSS for a long time. So kudos to the Daisy Bill, CHG Healthcare, Greenway, PointClickCare, and athenahealth teams. You guys put together awesome booths that really stood out on the show floor of HIMSS26, and you are my Best of Show. And that's it for me. Did I miss a giveaway or an attraction or a booth? If so, let me know in the comments or DM me. I love comparing notes with others, and yeah, if I missed something, I want to know about it. And hey, if you made it this far in the video, we would really appreciate it if you mash that like button and click subscribe. Also, head on over to Swaay.Health, that's Sway with 2 A's, .health, where you can find more great content like this. I'm Colin Hung, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.